But as the mountain population dwindled more and more, the search for recruits has shifted to the industrial areas further south. The Argylls' own pop group, the Glengees, with hair carefully styled for hiding under a Glengarry when the Sergeant Major's about. The modern soldier needs short back and sides on parade, but long hair in the evening if he's going to get his girl. There's no better recruiting technique than this. A year ago, these young Argylls were youth club boys themselves from Clydebank, Dumbarton, Paisley, and Glasgow.
Everything you want. The people I could say they just steer up it.
The competition is stiff. The Argylls can't offer a trade like the Remy or the Signals, just the glamour of a famous name. And that, too, may soon be gone. How do you explain to kids like these that the Army still needs them, when one by one the old regimental names are disappearing? The Cameronians, the Highland Light Infantry, the Royal Scots Fusiliers, all from Scotland's west coast, have gone already. But with stubborn obstinacy, the Argylls keep on recruiting as hard and successfully as ever. In the morning mist, Robert the Bruce looks out from Stirling Castle, ancient seat of Scottish kings. 6 battles have been fought within sight of these walls. Twice the rebellious Highland armies passed this way, and each time the Campbells opposed them. The Argyll Highlanders, the 91st Regiment of Foot, were raised at Stirling in 1794, and the castle is still the regimental headquarters today. Beneath a portrait of Princess Louise, the present colonel of the regiment, General Freddie Graham, meets a batch of new recruits.
Now then, I like to see all squads of recruits coming into the regiment for 2 reasons. One, that you should get a good look at me and know who I am. And secondly, that I should have a look at you. I can't remember all your names, naturally, out of 650-odd men, but I'll know that we've met before. The reason that I think you ought to know who I am is that I am the colonel of the regiment, and as such, I'm responsible for seeing that all your traditions and your customs and your well-being as Argylls is kept up. In the banqueting hall, the pride, pomp, and circumstance of glorious war. The Argylls amalgamated in 1881, and the Argylls then were the 91st Argyllshire Highlanders and the 93rd Sutherland Highlanders. They were diametrically opposed because the 91st were all Campbells, and the 93rd were all Greys, Sutherlands, Mackays, Cairns, and so on, the traditional enemies of the Campbells. It took 50 years, at least, for that amalgamation to begin to be a success.
After centuries of clan turmoil, the wild boar of Argyll and the wild cat of Sutherland share the same regimental badge. Almost as fierce as these two, the regimental mascot, a small horse called Crochen, the traditional war cry of the Campbells. Crochen is said to possess all the characteristics of a typical jock. Tough, stocky, fond of a wee drop of something, a wayward temper, and no great respecter of persons. He once had a go at the regiment's colonel-in-chief, Her Majesty the Queen. the bar of the Sergeant Smith.
Back to the old clan system. Although we're not all from the one clan, we become the old clan. And we're all one big family. And I reckon if a jock is beside an English battalion in the line, he will fight that bit better, just to prove that he's a Highlander. We've a tougher private soldier. A soldier who is harder to handle. He can only be handled with Scotsman. Because he gets his back up as soon as anybody else gets on him. And there is only one man who can handle a Scotsman, that's another Scotsman.
The joke is on the RSM, who happens to be a Welshman.
I would honestly substitute an Argyll can be handled by another Argyll. I think I can handle the jokes. Well, this has all been gone over before, actually. I suppose I'm as much a jock as anybody else. Yeah, I am a jock, let's face it. I'm not a Scotsman, but I'm a jock.
I'm not sort of getting to that RSM, you know. Remember, he's of the same Celtic race.
The jock, as we know him, is a tough individual. He's hard drinking. He lives hard. He plays hard. He's got an infinite pride in his regiment. And although people in this country, when we are sort of stationed in Plymouth, and people tend to think of them as just a damn nuisance when they're in the town. These are the people that really do the job when they're in Ayton, in Korea, in Cyprus.